What's good, people? It's about that time to randomly relate, reverse rants, no hate. So big time Michael Hunter told Dillian Whyte to stop making excuses. He want to fight him. All right. So let me tell y'all what I think about what I saw. Okay, I'm just going to paraphrase. I just remember Michael Hunter saying things like, um, he said Dillian Whyte, these guys act like they don't know who I am. You know, he's saying he might have to step down in order to get a fight, and um said, that Dylan White's full of excuses. And of course, a lot of people laugh their ass off and, find it humorous. But here's why. Now, I saw Michael Hunter when he fought against my man that's about to fight Anthony Joshua. Usyk. I saw several Michael Hunter fights. Michael Hunter's a good fighter. Bit small for certain heavyweights. For certain heavyweights. Um, Usyk was clearly a better fighter, but he put up a good fight as long as he could. But he lost the fight, you know. And look, he's trying to get a fight. Nobody talks about Michael Hunter. So when he's saying these guys act like they don't know who I am, it's not that they act like they don't know who he is. There's really no value in fighting him. He's not ranked high, and I'm not saying he shouldn't be ranked higher than what he is, but at the same time, you got to fight for these spots. That goes for any fighter. You should have to fight for these spots. We know how these sanctioning bodies like to just juggle and have people. I mean, I heard, now I don't know if this is true. I heard somebody actually said to me that there's supposed to be a title eliminator between Charles Martin, who, I mean, his last fight was against Gerald Washington, Luis Ortiz. I'm like, why would they have a title eliminator between the two of them? Like, for what? Like, what have they done to be in a title eliminator fight? Why? Why those two? Right? Okay, so again, now let's take Michael Hunter, get back to Michael Hunter. He has no real significant wins. He's yet to fight anybody that we really care to see him fight other than Usyk. And at that point, Usyk was a cruiserweight. Okay. So Michael Hunter's trying to make some noise, trying to get some attention. I mean, that's what he's trying to do. But when you're saying that Dillian Whyte's full of excuses to a guy who has been prominent in the heavyweight division and you haven't, and when you come off with this aggressive, yeah, I'm this, I'm that type, and you haven't done anything, people are going to laugh at you. Right? Let's just be real, okay? Um, Michael Hunter could fight, but he hasn't done anything. Now, at the same time, we can't see him act like he didn't pull out of a fight with Urkovic, however, y'all know what I'm talking about. IBF mandatory fight, and he chose to not fight him. You can't say Dillian Whyte or anybody else is full of excuses. You pull out of an IBF mandatory title fight. For what? For what? So when you look at his career, it's like it almost like Michael Hunter fights for damn free. Like, you understand what I'm saying? Saying his name doesn't strike interest. People, oh, Michael Hunter. Nobody talks about Michael Hunter. We talk about how nobody talks about Wilder in the U.S. Nobody talks about Michael Hunter. So again, it's not like people are acting like they don't know him. No, they don't know him, and for those who do, they don't see any real value in fighting Michael Hunter. He needs to prove something, but I mean, you can't just call out a Dillian Whyte, somebody like of his caliber, and expect him to just, oh, let's fight. Now, if Dillian Whyte looks at him and feels like, hey man, this dude is a good fighter, I think it's a good challenge. And Dillian Whyte's talking about his U.S. debut or something. I mean, yeah, I don't feel like it's a fight Dillian shouldn't take. But what I'm saying is, I mean, there's just no real value in Michael Hunter. I mean, Michael, there's guys. Okay, example, right? Why can't we put a fight together with Michael Hunter versus a Charles Martin? Let's see how he'll do against a guy like him. I mean, people want to try to talk their way into a top spot, but boxing shouldn't work like that. You know, you just say you want to fight somebody, you get it, and then all of a sudden you got other people busting their ass in the division and they can't even get these fights. You know, how does he do against a guy like uh, 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 um, um, Hellenius or you know, you got to prove something. Fight Efe Ajaba. You know, there's somebody that see. Here's the thing: there's guys that will be extremely dangerous for Michael Hunter that may not have a certain popularity right now. That could derail what he's trying to do. Fight Daniel Dubois. Call him out. What's my man that just got this title? He beat Stavern for it. And nobody's talking about him either. He made videos talking shit and then disappeared. I forget his name because he's not even somebody. But I'm saying, go take his title. Go, look. See, the problem with boxing, man, is the politics has always been a problem. And it got to a point where it's like, fighters who don't have real star power, even when they can fight, they get overlooked. Okay, they get overlooked. But when you just start calling the biggest names out in the division and you haven't done anything, it's like, you can say people are ducking you or they're making excuses or whatever, but they can simply look at your resume and say, man, who the hell have you beaten? Go fight Trevor Bryant. That's what I'm talking about. Go fight Trevor Bryant. Take his belt. Go fight, Ajaba. Let's go after try to fight Daniel Dubois. Try to get one of those dudes. Now, I'm not saying he shouldn't try to get Dillian, but what I'm saying is, that, him making that comment about excuses. Well, people, like I said, people gonna look at you and say, well, you made an excuse to not fight Erkovic. So, it's one of those things, man. Like, instead of trying to talk your way into, try to work out a deal with one of those guys. I mean, somebody will fight you. I don't feel like none of these guys fear Michael Hunter. I just feel like I said, there's no real value in his name. And to be honest with you, he's not a big puncher. He can box. He has holes in his games as well, even though, he may act like he don't and talk like he doesn't. But there's nobody looking at Michael Hunter like, man, that's a big field fight right there. Him and such and such. Nobody. And all the time he hasn't been doing anything. I don't know if he could explain to people to make sense out of why he didn't fight Erkovic, why he ducked him. Because like I say, it was clearly the IBF mandatory, and he decided, nope, not going to do it. No explanation, because if he did, I missed it. It just didn't happen. And we know that he turned the fight down. You turn that down and start calling out Dillian Whyte. If you're going to campaign and stay a heavyweight, if you truly want to make your mark in the heavyweights, like I said, go after a Daniel Dubois, somebody who's still growing. Go after a Jabba. Go after fight Charles Martin. Come on. You haven't done anything to earn a shot with Dillian Whyte. Let's be real. I don't know what the plans are for Dillian Whyte's American debut because I haven't heard anything. They talked about it, then those talks just died down. We heard about possible opponents, and then that talk just went away. But trying to use somebody else's name for clout, and I'm not saying he don't really want the fight, but I don't see how he really expect like that to happen as if like this is a big fight for Dillian Whyte. And this is, to be honest with you, this is actually a step down for Dillian Whyte. Let's just be real. I think Michael Hunter is too goddamn small. He doesn't hit hard enough. He doesn't have that grit. He doesn't have that fire. He doesn't have what he needs. He doesn't have 2 and 3 gears. He doesn't have what he needs to go in there and bang with them big dudes. This is clearly what I feel when I look at Michael Hunter. I think Dillian Whyte destroys him. I think any top heavyweight destroys him. I think Daniel Dubois knocks him out. I think Joe Joyce knocks him out. wears him down, walks him down, beats him down, knocks him out. I don't think he beats any of those guys. Now, if he starts getting tired, even F.A. could start catching him, popping and wearing him out. F.A. has big shots. He's not the fastest guy. He's slow. He has holes too. But we haven't seen you getting there with the big boys and do anything. You know what I'm saying? Charles Martin. You gotta, I feel like this, man. To say, listen, I got a hit list. I'm gonna work my way up to get the fights with these dudes. I'm not waiting. I'm not sitting here like begging for fights. I'm gonna go show what I'm made of. Make noise and then go back it up. But don't just make noise. Because to be honest with you, I don't think anybody is excited of the thought of Dillian Whyte versus Michael Hunter. This does nothing for Dillian Whyte. And what does it do? I don't know what Michael Hunter ranking is right now. It doesn't really matter because he's done nothing in the ring that makes me feel like he even, like I said, deserves a shot at a top guy. I wouldn't be mad if they wanted to fight him. I wouldn't be mad regardless. But you know what I'm saying? I just feel like for any of the top guys, it's a step down fighting Michael Hunter. And people don't understand. The guy can box. But again, it's different. If you watch when he fought Usyk, it wasn't, that fight was super. No, it wasn't. No, he was holding his own, and then Usyk started tagging his ass up, and you clearly saw who the better fighter was. Clearly. And can we say Michael Hunter's gotten better since then? So, and again, a guy with, like, a guy that has soft punch, don't have big punching power, and then with those big super heavyweights that can fight, and, them little tip-tap shots that he does, and he gets tired, okay? I see Michael Hunter getting destroyed as a heavyweight by any of those top guys. His style and what I mean, so I'm really not like looking forward to him and Dillian Whyte like it's a big fight. If it happened, it happened. But I don't think anybody's motivated by that. I can't even imagine people who are Michael Hunter versus Dillian Whyte super fight. No, people would feel like, why? For Dillian, why are you fighting Michael Hunter? And again, the guy, he can box. He has some boxing skills. But like I said, he has holes in his game. And you got to, he needed to be able to explain himself why he didn't take Erkovic's title. Even if he didn't want to stay. However, whatever. Why did you not take his title? Why did you turn that fight down? And then feel like you can just walk your way and talk your way into a fight against Dillian Whyte. And you think about it. What does Dillian Whyte have to gain by fighting Michael Hunter? A small cruiserweight at that comes up to heavyweight. What does he have to gain? It does nothing for Dillian Whyte. Can you imagine Dillian Whyte trying to get a shot at Joshua or Fury or whoever's holding the titles saying, I just beat Michael Hunter? Okay. And what is your point, Dillian? Who's Michael Hunter? That's exactly how people would look at that shit. Understand what I'm saying? And I'm not saying that Michael Hunter Dillian shouldn't fight him. If he wants to fight him, hey. But I'm saying if Dillian doesn't want to fight this guy, I understand. Fights do need to make sense. And then here's a sense of, like I said, here's a guy that's big that can fight versus a little guy with no real punching power, can box but gets tired, and pretty much is going to have a big dude chopping his little ass down. I don't think he can beat any top heavyweight. I'm not talking about just somebody throwing the top 10. I don't see him beating Andy Ruiz. I don't see him beating AJ. I don't see him beating Wilder. I don't see him beating Usyk. I don't see him beating Joyce. I don't see him beating Dubois. Now, if he was to beat any of them, hey, man, more power to you. But you got to show me something. Because from what I know and what I see of him, nah. He doesn't have enough. He doesn't have enough. He should have fought Erkovic, took his title, and at least in that sense, he's a cruiserweight champion coming up to heavyweights that I want to fight this guy. You still got to come to the heavyweights and prove something. But Michael Hunter, his name just doesn't ring bells, and it doesn't motivate. It doesn't even motivate, man. And I don't know, how soon he can get a fight with whoever, but I think he just has issues getting fights because he's just not that guy. But again, guys like FA, guys that's on the come up, guys I mean, if you feel like Dillian's making excuses, right, and you feel like you can beat Dillian Whyte, then you definitely need to go and fight a guy. Then you should feel like you could beat FA or Charles Martin. The guys like you definitely you should feel like you should be able to beat those guys. And if you can go in there and have a good showing against those guys, then people will start talking like, okay, shit, okay, he just beat Charles Martin, all right, okay, walked this earth like a god, he just beat him. Oh shit, okay, he just beat Kanaki, okay, all right. Oh shit, he just beat Andy Ruiz. You gotta go in there and beat guys. Like, you gotta work, you gotta go up, man. And the older you start getting, man, people start to realize, I gotta start making moves. I gotta start doing something. I gotta get in here and fight, and I gotta do it now. So he's just desperate for a fight, trying to get his name out there. And whether the fight happens or not, mentioning certain names, the YouTube algorithm. As soon as people hear his name mentioned with Dillian Whyte, a lot of Dillian Whyte fans or people, just boxing fans in general, are going to tune in to see what he's talking about. So people who normally don't even know who he is they probably won't even be watching the video for him. But what is he saying about Dillian Whyte? He just doesn't have a big following. He's not a draw. And like I said, there's no value to his name. And it's unfortunate for him, but that's the situation he's in. So I don't blame him, though, for calling out Dillian Whyte. I'm not saying he's wrong and that he shouldn't do it. But what I'm saying is he just doesn't have the resume to talk, reckless like he's talking. Because you're saying all this, you can box, but you just don't have a body of work that's impressive enough for people to even really want to see that fight. So, hey, I hope it worked for him. I hope, hey, if if Dillian decides, I'm gonna make my American debut against this dude, huh? Because there's no other heavyweight that Dillian Whyte can fight that will make any bigger difference. Because there is no heavyweights out there from America that people actually know. Jarrell Pharmacy Miller, he's still MIA, so that so yeah, I don't think it's a bad thing for an American debut because, in all honesty, unless he's going to fight Wilder, nobody's going to know his opponent anyway. Michael Hunter and Dillian, that'd be cool. That'd be cool to see. But I still think Dillian will smash him overall. I think Dillian gets him out of there. Anyway, never fall in love with lies. Remember, the truth brings hate out of people, and I will catch y'all on the next video.